Hello, Namaste and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss a landmark judgment from Kerala High Court on the applicability of GST on services provided by associations or clubs to its members, specifically the concept of mutuality. In a separate video, I will also tackle the implications of the judgment on housing societies where maintenance exceeds 7,500 rupees per month, whether there would be any change in the implication of GST post this judgment. Coming back to this judgment, the concept of mutuality suggests that when members contribute to a common fund for their mutual benefit, the transactions aren't really a supply in a traditional sense, because there are no two distinct persons, a supplier or a recipient. Think of any local club or association. But in 2021, amendments were brought in imposing GST on services provided by associations or clubs to its members and even making it retrospective. By Finance Act 2021, Parliament brought amendment to Section 7 of CGST Act that defines supply, artificially deeming club or associations and its members as two distinct persons, so that their transactions could be covered under supply. The Indian Medical Association (IMA) challenged these amendments before Honorable Kerala High Court. The IMA runs various mutual benefit schemes for its members: financial stability during death, disability or illness. Members contribute and the pooled funds help the fellow doctors. When the GST department demanded tax on such transactions, IMA argued that here principle of mutuality would apply because there are no distinct supplier or recipient. They believed that they weren't providing any service to an external entity, but it was a facilitation amongst its members as a self-help system. Now, the learned single judge of the Kerala High Court ruled that while the provisions removing the concept of mutuality were not unconstitutional per se, but applying them retrospectively was unfair. Both IMA and GST department appealed against this single judge judgment. Matter reached division bench. This brings us to the heart of the matter. Division bench dwelled into the question that can the legislature redefine supply under GST to include the transactions where the very concept of distinct supplier and recipient inherent to the idea of service absent under the Constitution. They refer to landmark Supreme Court judgments, for example, Ranchi Club, Calcutta Club cases, which established that both sale and service inherently require two distinct persons. The court reasoned that while the legislature has the power to redefine a term within a statute, but it cannot twist the definition so fundamentally that it contradicts with meaning and scope of that term as understood under the Constitution of India. The Constitution in Article 246 capital A empowers the levy of GST on supplying of goods or services. The very concept of supply under the Constitution presupposes two entities. Then a mere legislative amendment cannot deem a self-service or mutual activity as a taxable service under GST. This is important. The court pointed out that unlike the introduction of deemed sale through making an amendment under the Constitution of India by providing the deeming fiction under Article 366(29)(a), in GST regime there has been no corresponding amendment in the Constitution itself to deem the provision of services by a club or association to its members as a supply under GST. The principle of mutuality, the court reaffirmed, as held in Calcutta Club case still survives under the Constitution of India. Therefore, the court concluded that the amendments brought in CGST Act and respective SGST Act, specifically to Clause 17 of Section 2, Subclause E, the definition of business, and Section 7(1)AA, and the explanation thereto, which sought to tax the principle of mutuality, were unconstitutional and void as they were beyond the legislative competence granted by the Constitution. This judgment is a significant victory for the principle of mutuality and has far-reaching implications. And it is also important to note that this judgment underscores the fact that legislative powers, even in economic matters, is not unfettered and must remain within the four bounds of the Constitution. What are your thoughts on this ruling? Let us know in the comment section. Until next time, take very good care of yourself and see you soon.